Yo guys, what is up? Good Delicio here with some more Rush gameplay for you today on Orbital. I'll be using the NTW-50 with the 8x scope and all the other base attachments, as the NTW really only has sight attachments and one other round of ammo. Probably because of how strong it is, but whatever. In this video, I want to go over my thoughts on 64-player game modes, as well as some other things they can do to make this game better. But before I do that, I want to say that vehicle destruction is looking to be out for Christmas Day, and my next clips video is probably going to be the best clips video I've uploaded to this channel. I've said that in the past, but I always find a way to outdo myself, and I think it's definitely going to be a must watch. It absolutely has one of the most insane clips I've ever gotten into this game, so be on the lookout for that. I don't have a time frame for that, but it will be out for the end of the month for sure. Also, point of view number 1 will most likely be out on New Year's Eve. Video's pretty much done. I just need to get the graphic made for it, throw it in Vegas, and get it uploaded. But New Year's Eve, be on the lookout. Point of view number 1. Also, tonight on Twitch, I will be streaming more Postal gameplay, but before I do Postal, I'll be going over the Mayfield tornado and give my thoughts on why it was so powerful and why it didn't get the rating that it deserved. But anyway, to the gameplay. Well, my thoughts on 64-player and anything that's not 128-player. Honestly, I've been playing some 64-player Conquest. I haven't tried Breakthrough. I may try some of that today because everything's just pissing me off today. But 64-player is not good. It is not good at all. I know there's a lot of people, especially on the 2042 subreddit, that say that 64-player is the savior this game needed, and it's not true at all, because the way they implemented it was the laziest way possible, in all honesty. The way the maps play are up absolute and utter dog shit. And if they did scale down how many vehicles there are, it doesn't feel like it, because I feel like I died to vehicles way more in 64-player than I ever do in 128-player. I went on a streak yesterday in multiple games where I died to vehicles like 4 to 5 times in a row. And you must be saying, well, why don't you get into a building or get into cover? And my rebuttal to that is, what fucking cover is there? What cover? Honestly, most of these streaks happen on maps like Kaleidoscope, where A flag and C flag look at each other, and the in-between is just a barren, open fucking field of nothingness for you to hide behind. It's stupid. Breakaway, another good one. Or reuse the oil rigs to mainly play. Still, where are you going to fucking hide? There's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to hide from buildings. From vehicles. And before we get to this debate of vehicles and infantry, I do say that vehicles need to be adjusted a lot more. I don't think we should be able to put down a marker to put a tank down. Honestly, why are we able to bring out the M5C bolt, which still hasn't been nerfed, by the way? It wasn't on the list of nerfs. I went over the patch notes in a video. If you haven't seen it, it will be in the description below and at the end of this video. But why are we able to do that? It ruins the flow of this game tremendously, and it makes vehicles way too strong. And there's people on Reddit defending that vehicles are not overpowered. Bitch, how? Honestly. Now, with that being said, I do think vehicles need more nerfs. I don't think vehicles need self-heals. That's what the repair tool is for. If you want heals on your vehicles, if you want people to be using the repair tool, you need to take out self-healing off vehicles. It's stupid. There's no point that a tank that I've put all my M5 ammo into, M5 rockets that is, get it pretty much dead to where a teammate can kill it, only for it to drive a circle around the fucking flag and be back to full health. It's stupid. Not only that, let's talk about the M540 Nightbird, which has a 2-minute respawn after you kill it. That's honestly stupid. It's so stupid. This is why this game needs no vehicle game modes like Team Deathmatch and Domination, because for players like me, for infantry people who just want to play the fucking game without worrying about a tank up their ass, a Nightbird over their head, and an M5C bolt barreling at 100 miles an hour towards us, trying to all fucking destroy me, because it's stupid. Vehicles in this game are way too fucking strong. I don't care what you say, it's the fucking truth. It's the utmost truthful thing I'll probably ever say in a video. And it's not because that, you know, they're strong on their own, it's because the maps are utterly some of the worst designed maps for a multiplayer game, because supposedly this game wasn't supposed to be a traditional Battlefield game. It was supposed to be a battle royale. And supposedly this game only had about a year and a quarter of actual development, which I can clearly see. You can clearly tell these maps are meant for battle royale maps because of how open they are. And look at where the flags are. They make for perfect destinations for you to pick up weapons and other shit like you would in a battle royale game. Pisses me off so much. But yeah, 64-player game mode, honestly, if they would have put more thought into how they downscaled the maps, like for example on Kaleidoscope, if they would have used A, C, and E from 128 player as ABC map, ABC flags, I think it would be a lot better than what it is right now. I don't think flags should be on top of skyscrapers, but yet they took them out of Breakthrough because it was utterly fucking broken for defenders to defend because it was impossible to get on top of the buildings. Why can't they do that to fucking Conquest? Seriously. Now that being said, 64 player, if you take out most of the vehicle spam, it's honestly not that bad. I mean, if you've played Rush flows pretty damn well on a lot of maps. Orbital, not so much. I was surprised I even got this gameplay, as most Orbital games usually end up not making it past the first bomb site because of how absolutely stupid it is. But Orbital 64 player is probably the best thing ever. It's constant action. It's constant, I mean, yeah, there's vehicles, but you're able to destroy them. I mean, it's like they put no thought when they're going to release this into how the maps would play. I mean, honestly, you could say that about the whole game. They put no thought into how the maps would play. And that's probably why we got Orbital for the beta, because Orbital is the most balanced map in this game. I don't care who you are, Orbital is the absolute most balanced game in this map, bar none, and that's probably why I enjoy it so much, because it actually feels good to play on, in my opinion. Now, Manifest feels good to play on, Discarded feels fine to play on, but once you get outside those three maps and you get to the larger maps like Renewal I used to love until people figured out, hey, if you sit on top of C and you have flat ground all around you, you know, you can pretty much just set at C and win the game as long as you're able to push other points. Breakaway is honestly... Breakaway is the worst map I have ever played in my life. That says a lot. That says a whole lot. Honestly, no. It's probably the second worst map because they included L Ardian or whatever the fuck Battlefield 1942 map it is, but Breakaway, from an infantry standpoint, is the worst map I have ever fucking played in my life. It's horrible. It's downright fucking bad. And if you're Russian, you have it so fucking easy on that map. you have insanely easy access to C in the off Russian spawn. And I can't tell you how many times I've started off as US, and the enemy team already has all of A sector, all of B sector, C, and D, while we just cap F. It's Breakaway. I tweeted out, if Breakaway is your favorite map in Battlefield, you've never played on a good map. And I think that's utterly true, because Breakaway is such a shitty map. Now, people who play vehicles probably love Breakaway, but even then, as a vehicle player, I don't see how you would like Breakaway at all. It's just bad. It's so horribly designed. Hourglass? Honestly, Hourglass, from what I heard for 64 players, is like a worse Sinai Desert. Which Sinai Desert, I've said before, Battlefield 1 was one of my more favorite conquest maps, and it actually grew on me as a domination player. But Hourglass is starting to grow on me just because I get to snipe. And honestly, I've fallen more in love with sniping in this game than I have with Battlefield probably since Backup Me 2, or maybe even 1943. I loved sniping in 1943. I love sniping in Battlefield 19 or Backup Me 2. And I sniped quite a bit in Battlefield 1 just because it was kind of fun running around and seeing what I could do with the sniper. But in this game, I find sniping to be incredibly fun, and Hourglass is the perfect map for that. Now, there's not to say that Hourglass does have its issues, but outside that, you know, I'd rather play Hourglass over Renewal, Kaleidoscope, or Breakaway at this point. That being said, I have not played Hourglass in 64 player, I've not played Renewal in 64 player. Renewal and Rush is pretty fun, so I think it would be fun in 64 player. But yeah, I think outside that, 64 player, if the maps were more thought out, if there were less vehicles and no actual summoned vehicles wherever the fuck on the map you want, 64 player, in my opinion, would be absolutely fun. So moving on, what else needs to be changed in this game for it to be better? Honestly, they do need to add Domination and Team Deathmatch as permanent game modes. That way you have just a straight up slaughterhouse of a game modes where people go in and just kill each other with no objective other than kill someone. And then you have an objective game mode with no vehicles. So you have two game modes with no vehicles that people can play and enjoy themselves, that the infantry players want. I also think 64 player Breakthrough and Conquest should actually be added permanently as well. And even possibly 64 player Rush, which honestly, if you think about it, Breakthrough is just Frontlines plus Rush. But, yeah, I think Rush honestly should permanently be in the game as well. Battlefield Portal. Talked about this before. Something needs to be done with it because it's dead. There needs to be more customization in Portal, because if Portal stays dead like it is, this game won't last probably after a year. There's already like 16,000 people on Steam as of 10 o'clock this morning, which I find to be quite low for a newly released first-person shooter. That could be because people bought through Origin 2, but either way, Portal needs to be fixed. Sentry Gun. Sentry Gun needs to be fucking nerfed. There's no reason why a Sentry Gun should be more powerful than a Ranger, because you actually have a cooldown on a Ranger summon. If you're smart with your turret placement, you can two-shot people easily. Easily. And it just snaps on people instantly. It's stupid. It needs to be nerfed. It needs to be way weaker than the Ranger, and it needs to be a lot easier to destroy than the Ranger. Or what it is right now, because there's been times where I don't hit it directly with the M5 rocket, and it lives. Stupid. Utterly stupid. And there's going to be people say, well, that's what makes it so good, is because it's so easy to destroy. No. When people are running... Alright. Let me set this up. I was playing Conquest last night, and I was pushing... It was Breakaway 64 player. I was pushing from A1 to B1, and I run into 2 Rangers on each side of me, 2 turrets on each side of me, a tank behind me, a tank to my right, and yeah, I mean, that sums up 2042 in a nutshell for me. There's just way too much stuff that people can easily have access to that kills people, that kills infantry way too quickly. And that's why sentry gun needs to be nerfed, like ASAP. Because in its current state, it's way too powerful, in my honest opinion. Now, if they would go back to the old way of doing vehicles, no more calling in kill stuff, like, yeah, call in Ranger, that makes sense, but no calling in M5C bolts, no calling in Wildcats. Have those in spawn and have transport vehicles able to be called in, also on flags as well, then I'd be fine with the call-in system. I think that's what needs to be done to make the game a lot better. I also think, I believe I've said this in a previous video, but all maps that they release need cover. They need to be better than what we have now, because if the maps are dog shit, this game is not going to live past a year. And that is the god honest truth. This game, if the maps that they release coming up for the first DLC run, the first season, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, are not good at all, this game is not going to live. And I can guarantee you that, because they're going to rely heavily on Hazard Zone. If Hazard Zone goes free to play, they're going to rely heavily on that to draw people into playing this game. Because if your maps are dog shit, people aren't going to play it. Straight up. Look at Cold War. Look at Modern Warfare 2019. Look at Vanguard. The only reason people still play Call of Duty is for Warzone. And I don't blame them, because when you've burned your hardcore base 3 years in a row with bullshit that Modern Warfare, Cold War, and Vanguard have, it's easy to see why the numbers are declining on the multiplayer side. But when you have something free to play like Warzone, like everything else that's apparently Battle Royale right now, it does extremely well. But with that being said, that's pretty much, I think, everything I needed to cover in this video. For gameplay commentaries, I'm not really recording gameplay right now. Getting good games to upload. I mean, I said I was going to start recording again the old-fashioned way. I probably will at some point, but I'm not really playing 2042 as much as I was the last few weeks. I've kind of slowed down considerably with Endwalker coming out, trying to pick up more streaming hours and stuff like that. I would like to record more gameplay, and I can honestly say I'm going to try. Alright, I'll try to record at least good gameplay on each map to kind of give out some tips and tricks on how to not die to all the random bullshit in this game. But that's the end of the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Final score is like 22-5 or some shit like that. Honestly, I think that's the best way to play Sniper and Rush. But if you like the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to follow me on Twitch. Link me in the description below. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.